Yeah, I came across another one. Now this one's all about the usual stuff that they always go on about, and that's premature sex. So I'll have to read it. It's just I just couldn't get over it. So it starts with what people say. Some cultures tolerate sexual activity between consenting unmarried adult individuals. In some areas, it is viewed as acceptable for unmarried adolescents to engage in some forms of sexual intimacy. But what does the Bible say? The Bible used the word fornication for some forms of sexual activity outside marriage. God expects his worshippers to abstain from fornication. Fornication is listed as a serious sin, as are adultery, spiritism, drunkenness, idolatry, murder and thievery. Why it matters, they're saying. For one thing, the Bible warns that God will judge fornicators. More important, by obeying God's laws about sexual morality, we prove our love for Jehovah. He in turn blesses those who observe his commandments. What people say. Many people believe that apart from sexual intercourse, there is nothing wrong with sexual intimacies between unmarried partners. What the Bible says, when discussing immoral sexual practices, the Bible mentions not only fornicators, but also sexual uncleanness and loose conduct. Clearly, there are various forms of sexual intimacy that are offensive in God's eyes when performed outside marriage, even when there is no intercourse. The overall message of the Bible regarding sex is that sexual intimacies are restricted to a man and woman who are married to each other. The Bible also disapproves of covetous sexual appetite. What does this mean? Consider an example that could apply equally to a man or a woman. A woman might be determined not to have intercourse with a boyfriend. Still, she engages in other forms of sexual intimacy with him. By doing so, they are coveting or lusting after something that, what? I can't believe what I read. It says that does not belong to them. Honestly, this is absolutely ridiculous. Hence, they are guilty of covetous sexual appetite. Such sexual greed is condemned in the Bible. How can you avoid sexual immorality? Why it matters. According to the Bible, those who engage in premarital sex are in danger of losing their friendship with God. Honestly, what the Bible says, the Bible advises people to flee from fornication. This means that a person needs to stay as far away as possible from anything that could lure him or her into sexual immorality. For instance, in order to remain morally clean, it is vital for one to avoid close association with people who ignore God's principles relating to sex. The Bible warns, he that is walking with wise persons will become wise, but he dealings with stupid ones will fare badly. Feelings in mind with immoral thoughts can also lead to sexual misconduct. That it is wise to avoid music videos, printed material, anything that improperly portrays sexual activity and it promotes sexual conduct that offends God. Do you know what? I cannot believe I'm reading this. You know, is this portrayed to take the piss out of the rank and file? Because why is it that there's so many lawsuits against elders and, you know, ministerial servants who are guilty of paedophilia, and then the innocent go to the elders for help, and then they disfellowship those who go to the police to expose that paedophile to the police, and that brings reproach upon Jehovah's name? I am absolutely disgusted. So if anybody wants to look this up, it's in the Awake September 2013. I've actually got an issue of, this was 2013, September 2013, The Truth About Halloween. I thought that this was this year's, but, you know, It's ridiculous. So if anybody has any thoughts on that, let me know. And as you can see, what I'm doing, I'm finding this filth everywhere in the streets. I mean, look, they're they're taking the piss out of Halloween, because look, it looks like a Halloween leaf. I'm seeing this literature on the floor more than Halloween leaves this year. So what I'm doing, every time I find one, I write this. I write any website like JW Facts, stay away from this dangerous and destructive cult. And what I do is I leave them on buses, just anywhere where you know people are going to pick them up. So please leave comments about this. Thanks.